Welcome back to More Designs. Today I want to share with all of you how I put together color palettes when I'm designing planners and also when I'm making digital stickers on Procreate. Finding good colors that are going to work together can be really challenging. I feel like you have to have a certain eye for that, and I don't think I have that eye. So instead, I have 4 different strategies for pulling colors into Procreate that I'm going to share with you guys. Make sure you stick around because the 4th strategy is the easiest way to make an entire color palette in just seconds. So let's jump in so I can show you how I do it. Being able to have these color palettes has allowed me to make many of these stickers that you're seeing right now so that I can have lots of colors that are going together that complement each other. So the first way, and the most basic way, is just to take advantage of what Procreate already offers in their color tools. So to do that, you're going to click on the color wheel up here in the corner, and you're going to see that built in you have a color disc where you can simply pick a color, and as you choose a color you can make it a little lighter or a little darker. Another feature I like to use a lot is to click over on Classic. This allows you to make a certain shade either lighter or darker so that it complements what you already have there. So let's say that I have this purple, but I want a lighter version of the purple or a darker version. I can take this bottom line that fades from black to white and move it to the left and right, and that'll make it either darker or lighter, but still within that same purple tone. I'll use this tool a lot if I'm trying to create some sort of ombre look. The next feature built into Procreate is Harmony, and this allows you to find 2 colors that correspond to each other and go well. So up here you can see if I choose this pink or this blue, they're going to complement each other. So I can choose the blue and then switch over and choose the pink, and they're going to go well together. And this is great if you're just looking for one color that's going to go well with what you already have. There's also a value tab if you know the exact value of a color that you like. If you find a color online that you really like, you can use this. I don't use this very often. And then there's the palette tab. You'll notice when you first install your iPad, there are a few palettes already installed, but I'm going to show you how I use this in future ways to build out even more ideas. The second way that you can do this is by taking the creativity part out of and allowing artistic people to deal with those kind of things. If you go to Etsy, you're able to find lots of pre-made color palettes that you can purchase for just a few dollars. And what this is someone with an eye for colors that go together have actually gone through the process of finding several colors that are going to go well together. And if you were to actually purchase this, it's super simple to import so you have all the colors ready at the touch of a button. To do this, simply click on your color wheel again. Up at color palettes, you'll see a plus line, and you'll simply choose new from file and be able to download it right onto your iPad. Now I'm going to show you a different way that you can bring in color palettes without spending money. To be honest, I don't spend money on color palettes because there's a much more simple way of being able to bring in several color palettes of colors that are going to go together without spending a dime. So let's jump forward to our third way of pulling out colors. So once again, I'm jumping into my browser and I'm just going to search for a picture of a color palette. So in this case, I'm just going to put pink color palette and see what comes up. And I want to find a picture of a color palette that I like. So I'm going to hold my finger down on the picture and click Add to Photos. Then jump back into Procreate, click the little wrench, and choose Insert a Photo. And now I have the picture that I just had online on my Procreate canvas. And what's nice about this is now I can use any of the colors. Now usually what I do is I put this on the bottom layer, create a new layer on top of it, which is going to allow me to delete the picture later on. And now you can click your finger and hold it on any of the colors and you'll see this little circle pop up, and this shows you the color that you're actually pulling from it. So I can pull that little peach pinky color and now I'm able to write with it. If I want to grab the teal, same thing. And when I'm done with this project, I can simply delete that bottom layer and that picture will be gone, and what's left is whatever I've created using those colors. This final way is probably my favorite way. So if I click on that plus sign, I can now choose from photo and pull that picture that I just put in the back layer, and it's automatically going to create a color palette with every color it finds within there. I can also create a color palette by finding any sort of picture I like on Safari. So let's say that I like this kind of pink teal color palette with the flamingo. And when I'm using this strategy, I prefer to find things that have images attached just because it's going to give you a much larger color palette to work with. So let's say I want to add this color palette. I'm going to add it to photos. Again, click on my color wheel, hit the plus sign, hit new from photos, click on that picture, and now I've got a color palette with all the colors from that picture. You also have the ability to click at the top. So let's say I'm using this for one particular planner. I can rename it to be that planner type so that I know whenever I'm working on it to use these colors. Also, within your color palettes, you can easily set any of them for default, and that just means that it's going to be the color palette that you see first whenever you click into your color palettes. A lot of times I'll also use this picture-in-picture capability within the iPad, where I'll split the screen between Procreate as well as Google Search, and then you can actually skip saving the picture, hold your finger down on a picture, drag it over to palettes, and it's actually going to turn all the colors into a palette just like this. Now I will say that won't work for every single picture. It depends on the type of graphic it is. If it doesn't work to drag it over, just simply save it as a picture and do it as we did before. And just like that, in seconds, I now have 3 new color palettes that I can work with. You can do this over and over and over again and just have tons of options and things to work with, which helps you create stickers and planners and you name it. You can also do it with more simple color palettes, but those don't always turn out as nice looking. If you ever don't like the way a color palette imported, simply swipe right on the color palette and choose delete. Another little helpful hint, once you've imported a color palette, you have the ability to change and move things around. So let me show you what I mean. If I want to bring this in as a color palette, I'll drag it over, and it gives me tons of colors. So let's just say that pink shade I want to use the most. So you can click any one of these squares and drag it over. So maybe like this pink, yellow, and teal are going to be my go-to colors. The rest are just going to be complementary. I can put those as my first 3 colors. Also, if there's a shade in there I don't like, so maybe this darker blue, I can simply hold my finger down on it and hit delete. Same with maybe this mustard yellow. I can hold my finger down and hit delete. And this helps because sometimes when you pull in stickers, it'll pull in things like the black of the background or something like that, and you can quickly delete and move it around. So once you bring in those pictures, you can customize it however you want. I hope between these 4 strategies, you're able to quickly create color palettes that you can then use when creating your stickers and your digital planners. Enjoy!